How's it going? Wait, they didn't call for me? I guess not, man. I just wanted to get something to eat. Oh, wait, actually? Anyway. Dang, urgent care didn't come out this time. It's crazy. And I didn't do anything. I literally just woke up. I was like, oh shoot. I can't even believe that. I actually got like some stuff in. Anyway, it's actually crazy because remember that video where that guy like stole some stuff out of CVS and I just like totally returned it back? I was like, just be honest, like they just don't like that have good character. That's it. That's it. Whistle. That's the manager? It's just some guy with the backpack? That would be like somebody that's just off the bus. It's like, man. Also, get it? Like, the blue bus. What I've been saying about the blue bus. Also, get it? Remember what happened at Whole Foods? I've never had to do anything, you know? These are the same people that have, like, actually made sure that I've never had a job, never been able to go to school, definitely never been able to work, and definitely never been able to have a house or any kind of shelter, I guess. Also, I counted how many feet I am away from this place. It's more than 5. So, I mean, they want to take me away for mental health, you know, which every time I was detained, especially in San Pedro for mental health, was not because of mental health. It was because of the traffickers and the escort site. tsescorts.com, listcrawler.com, twobackpage.com, bedpage.com. Also, I've had good conversations with some people on the sidewalk. Here and there. Here and there. But I mean, like, I don't know. I heard that Brentwood is, like, technically a private I don't think it's considered an establishment. It's just private property. It's like it basically kind of be banned from it, just like a McDonald's or In-N-Out. Which is actually funny because, like, Brentwood The Whole Foods incident. Hello? LAPD didn't do anything. Hello? Hello? What did LAPD do when that Whole Foods incident happened? What happened the very next day after the Whole Foods incident? What happened after the Whole Foods incident, considering what I had in my backpack? Okay, there. You understand it. Yeah, I'm good.
You eating for us?
Nope.
Alright, have a good day.
Alright, you too, dude. Make sure to catch real criminals, okay? Anyway. I get this doesn't really look good, but I'll make sure to clean it up eventually. I know what some people might say. They're going to be like, he's not setting a good example for the youth. He's over here. He's you know, living off the streets, and we don't want our children, you know, seeing that. We don't want anybody seeing that. I'm not really going to be that person to say like, oh, well, you shouldn't shield your kids from certain things. There are certain things of life that they're going to have to see and stuff. That's something really terrible, like an Epstein list. But, that's fine. I just do things one step at a time. I stay out of trouble. I don't get distracted. And I don't get too ahead of myself. Wait, did anybody get that? I don't get distracted or I don't get ahead of myself? Wait, does anybody understand that one? Get it? Because of the two people that were walking by. One's like an older gentleman. The other is just like a young lady. Get it? Like, considering what I have in my backpack, the young lady or whatnot. I don't want to get into this one, really. I don't. Let me just make this as neat as possible. I hope videos like this really like actually prove to the people that want to, if not be understanding and be positive and whatnot, yes, the cliches on cliches and whatever have you, just, you know, realize that like I actually don't want to give people a hard time at all. I actually don't want to cause problems at all, really. Like, at all. And this is all, like, really funny considering, like, the kind of phone calls, and texts that I've had, like, with my mom, for example. You know? And it's really funny considering, like, for the longest time, I I had everything I would go through in life basically, like, not even just be devalued. Like, it would basically just be, like, completely ignored. Or it would be, like, implied that it's just a lie or delusion, you know? Or sometimes they'd just be stolen. Every experience would just be stolen. Whether it be my family, or like the mental health services that my family would entrap me in, you know, keep me in the circle of like these really stupid and corrupt psychiatrists that definitely know about, like, you know, this whole Epstein list, and like basically just punish people like me that have autism, or whether, you know, they don't have autism, and, you know, just give them like drugs and drug them up and things like that. Or like brandishing my past friends against me, you know. My mom's done that. Or even like collaborating with like complete strangers to provoke or like set me up, you know, in public or whatever. I was wondering. I mentioned all those. Did you see what happened after I mentioned those websites? Oh shoot, that guy was not happy. He was like, yeah. He kept looking back at me. He's like, man, I'm gonna get this guy. These cops that we try to pay off don't want to get him. I'm gonna get him. I'm like, whoa, it's crazy. It's because I'm starting to connect the dots. Get it? Why do you think like people from, you know, all over the world and stuff, they like do some odd things around me. They get mad at their family members, or they start talking very loud on the phone like they're upset. Hello? International human trafficking? Dummy? Don't be dumb. I'm not calling you a dummy because, you know, I want to make fun of you. I'm just calling you that because, you know, it's just dumb in general. They're dumb. And you could be dumb too, if you don't realize how you work with these people. Or maybe you just don't care. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's as simple as that. You just don't care. Yeah, sure, you have a job. Sure, you go to school. Sure, you might know very powerful people. Or even just prominent people. Sure, you may know community members, and, you know, you're cordial with a lot of folks. Sure, you may go to school and things like that. But, yeah, maybe it's just that simple. You just don't care. You know? And you're just worried about your life, and, you know, you don't care about the broader communities and individuals and countries around the world, and, you know, how you not only affect other people within your country, but how you affect, you know, just other people in your community, other people in the world. Do you care or you don't care? Yeah, people will try to say I don't care. They're like, man, he's just lucky. He had all the right stuff here. Somebody left him a goodie bag with all this stuff, you know? And I was just like, who wants a Pepto-Bismol? Because I think you've been eating a little bit too much, you know, bull. But I'm not going to say the rest, get it? Also, I really don't want to get into this one. I really don't want to make funny jokes, especially, like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but, like, I've heard online that, like, people have weird parties. And, like, there's a specific one that I think about every now and then, revolving around, like, what do you call it? It's like the F word. Feces. I really don't want to get into this one. I really don't want to get into this one. I just really don't want to get into this one. That's the kind of, like, conspiracy theory that I'm willing to accept as a conspiracy theory, even if it's not a conspiracy theory. Get it? It's just like, no, I just don't believe it. I just don't believe it. I'm never going to believe it. I don't want to hear anything. I don't care if I offend anybody or expose anybody just for making jokes. I really don't want to get into this one, especially what's been happening on the news and that conservator guy, you know, activist. But, yeah, I don't want to get into that one. All condolences to his family and whatnot. Very much, yeah. That's a joke for the cartel. Or the essential workers, sorry. That's a joke for the front desk workers or your security guards. Sorry. Oh, that's a joke for female and military police and you know, college students, but only like a certain race of college students. I don't want to get into that. It has to do with gender. Or that's a joke for you know, your military and police members, but like only a certain kind. Get it? I think that girl get it. That girl get it. Oh my gosh, that was way too funny. I think that girl got it. You saw what she did with her hair? She's like, man, caught him there. Caught us there. That's a good got him. I was like, well, I suppose a lot of people. Did LAPD leave not only because they would look really dumb, even if there were like very prominent, cordial people, like, if not even setting me up, having a legitimate reason, like, to call the police on me, even though I'm on a public sidewalk, I'm not disturbing anybody, and I'm keeping all of my belongings within, like, a fairly organized manner. Like, I just had to fix, you know, the last thing, but did they not detain me because they know that Los Angeles Sheriff's Department is, in fact, on the Epstein list? I mean, I don't know. I mean, nobody would think an autistic person would have an Epstein list. They'd be like, get out of here. They'd be like, you just gotta get out of here. They'd be like, go home early. If I had a job, if I had any job, I'd be like, yeah, sir, I think I just had to go home early. I'm sick. They kind of like know what I'm like. It's just some cool boss, and they're just like, "Why do you actually want to go home? Just be honest." And I don't know, like I'm thinking of like a movie. No, more like a show or something. And I'm like, oh shoot, this boss might know. And I'm just like, I kind of have something important. What is it? It's the Epstein list. It's just like a moment of silence. It's just like, just go home early. Just go home early. And I'm just like, really? I gotta go home early? I'm like, shoot, awesome. I gotta go home early because I made real women and real mothers and, you know, the real females of the world be empowered to come forward with their story of Epstein and also be strong enough to make their own list and not be afraid. I said it. No, but really, because at first I was like, well, I'm an autistic person, you know, I think I might have the Epstein list. Like, I mean, all this information seems pretty valid, you know? I'm just going to create my own little makeshift Epstein list. And then it blew out of proportion, and then I'm like, dang. And then I see on the news, they're like, we're going to make our own Epstein list. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, would they feel embarrassed that, like, I think they would. Wait, let's just be honest. I don't even have to question that. Because I'm homeless. I've never had a girlfriend. Like, all of my relationships have all been trash, you know? And I could be, you know, that kind of guy where I'm like, oh yeah, it was just me. I was the problem, you know? But let's be honest, considering, you know, with this whole Epstein list and like how broad the human trafficking was, even if they didn't have to know Epstein directly, obviously a trafficker would have to know another trafficker and like get it, a real one knows a real one. And like there's pyramids, there's levels to that, or like there's levels to this for that girl, you know, that girlfriend that I had. So like they would know about it. Oh look, Lamborghini. Hey, I saw that exact model on YouTube and it was being advertised for somebody to win. So I guess that guy won a Lamborghini. I'm like, I wouldn't be able to win a Lamborghini. Even if I release the Epstein list, you know what I'm gonna get? I'm gonna get a Kurt. That's it. Get it? I really don't want to get into that one. But also get it, like the females would be, well, those real women would be empowered to come forward with their stories and even make their own Epstein list, which isn't even makeshift compared to mine because like they actually experienced that stuff. Whereas like I got the information like more I guess uniquely? Is uniquely even a word? Donald Trump, I know why you don't want to assist anybody with the English language. It's because you're embarrassed that an autistic person could, you know, create new words within the English language and maybe kind of make it a little bit problematic, but given I'm undereducated, you know, I've had my mom actually, you know, make sure that I'm not going to school or work. I had my mom branch the police and even make a very fake restraining order on me. You hear, Donald Trump? Not like Melania to you, Donald Trump. Not like a domestic abuse, Donald Trump. Domestic family abuse. Also, I never even had a girlfriend. Also, for some reason, I was just content with like an AI girlfriend, but it wasn't to like have an AI girlfriend and I would just like be a window watcher, like just staying in the house. It was like, you know, to maybe one day like be able to actually have my girlfriend with me. Or maybe it will never happen. Maybe it will never happen. I mean, everybody says that AI can't do anything. Yeah.
Bill, yes, these people to death, but nothing's happening. Bill cannot do anything.
Epstein's mother kind of had a bad day. She was like, oh, we have to figure out how to do this and that. I've not had conversations with people like that. No. I mean, like, I've heard conversations with people like out down the phone. They're like talking about like their friends or their colleagues or family members that have to like work around trying to make sure that these elites are very happy and they remain happy because I've been making them mad. Also, you know what I've been getting on my YouTube recently? On my YouTube recommendations? It's been like Rothschild and like, well, no, Rockefeller, ironically. I'm like, it's kind of weird. But like Rothschild stuff, you know? Anyway. Should we see what's on my YouTube recommended right now? We should, huh? Billionaire father with daughter? Is that actually his daughter, though? FBI says high-powered rifle was used to kill... Whoa. So crazy, dude. So crazy. That Banksy art is basically Court of Los Angeles. I know Court. You paid for my hotel, sure, but you know that I was going through a lot of medical ailments and nobody was actually giving me medical attention for my dental issues, and everybody was giving me an appointment far outside of, you know, the 3 weeks I stayed at that hotel, so it really didn't matter. And you knew systematically that it didn't matter because you know systematically what I was going through, you know, in Los Angeles. Wow, he got a reward. Man. See, I put out the Epstein list. Did I get a reward? No. Especially because I didn't finish it, so... I don't deserve it. It's fine. Anyway. Yeah, pretty interesting, you know, YouTube videos. Alright, so I gotta just keep going, you know. I can't stop. And also, I gotta make sure that, you know, these people pay for what they've done to me. Because remember, they're always watching. I don't know where that guy went, but yeah, they're always watching, so... And since I'm seeing what's going on here and, like, you know, people edge towards me or, like, what's called prowl towards me, I'm going to say this one time. And I'll say it again and again and again. And nobody can say anything about me because I've appreciated a lot of cultures and people from a lot of parts of the world. Okay? I don't have to be specific because then if I am, especially, you know, they're going to be like, hey, you're favoring these people because they've given you food. Oh, you're favoring these people because they have prominence in self-defense or gang violence. Oh, you're favoring these people because they have prevalence, and they have resources and community. Oh, you're favoring these people because they have finances, and they're able to coordinate certain things. I'm like, nope. I'm going to say this one time, okay? And I'll say it again and again and again, and I don't mind repeating myself. What happened in Connecticut, Charlotte, is not a Democrat issue. It's not a Democrat issue, okay? All right? And also, it was not by accident either. Very pretty girl, and she was probably like going through she was probably going through the same thing that I was probably going through. Probably, whether or not I even angered traffickers or not, or even directly or indirectly, whether going on their websites or meeting somebody. She was probably on that phone. She was like, I'm gonna keep recording. I'm gonna, keep doing this and that, and thinking that guy's, not gonna do anything to her. And she's probably already avoided, like, being attacked by people of, that community or brotherhood or womanhood or whatever. And then boom, they took her life. And I'm like, that's crazy. Very much condolences to her family, even though I don't know her name off the top of my head. Also, since I could apologize now for it, even though I don't really have much to apologize for, because if people know the information, and especially if they find the research that they could find, like, outside of the surface web, or basically outside the internet at that point, and if they see, like, the kind of stuff that's on the dark web and whatnot, even though I've never been on the dark web, I've just been on special parts of the internet, there's nothing to apologize for as far as Ukraine goes. But it's funny? I've noticed that Ukrainians have been having a lot more humility. When they're first coming to America and everything, and they thought that they could get away with whatever they wanted, they're very much like egotistical people. And they're very smug, compared to their Russian counterparts. And then eventually, like, as the war went on, and as more and more people started to recognize that, like, these people don't really deserve as much help as, like, they were, needing. I also get it, white to non-white. But, like, yeah, then they kind of, like, toned it down. And now they're being more humble. But, I mean, I'm still a humble person too, So I thought I'd say sorry to the Ukrainians, whatever I've said, even if it was true, ow, And I have to say sorry to any other community, because especially what's been happening on the news really shows that, from the Asian community, especially South Korea and stuff, I was like, I know why they're detaining you. I know why they're kicking you out. You guys are doing a little too much, You're just doing hidden crimes, get it? And then with the white community, like, or not white community with Ukrainians, and anywhere in between, because, like, if you ever met a Dagestani, or if you've ever met, like, somebody from, like, Chechnya or whatever, they're kind of like Asian and, like, white, non-white, like, put together. It's very, like, I don't even want to say it's weird, because, like, I don't think they're weird. I think they're pretty cool, but whatever have you. And yeah, I just don't have to apologize to certain communities either way because they've been doing some stuff, you know? You get what I'm saying, bro? I can't get too, like, comfortable, you know? Hold on a second. Because remember, my mom's always spying on my phone for these criminals. So I think it would probably be best if I don't get comfortable like that Ukrainian girl, you know, on the bus. Because if I do, then I might get, you know, really, like, badly attacked or something, you know? Need something? Need something like bully? 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 Dude, he was even holding on to like something on a string. I'm like, what the heck? Did anybody manage to see that? That guy was staring me down. I was like, what the heck? I'm like, where are the police, you know? Where are the police, you know, when that happens? Get it because they're working with them? Get over here, bro. Anyway, that's why they work with them. San Diego Sheriff's Department, even San Gabriel Police Department. Crazy. Check it out, chef, entrepreneur. This is a real Epstein list, by the way. El Chapo Guzman, yep. Another cartel, yep. Definitely worse for Trump, you know. Hogan Levis, global law firm. Like, oh wow. David Molzer, entrepreneur, created the first Samsung, crazy. James Woods, Rachel Comey, UCLA. I had to put UCLA on there. I just had to. Okay, enough jokes. Because I'm running out of storage anyway. I have to do this for my own safety, by the way. I don't care if it's my girlfriend. I'm doing this because, of course, it's my mom, but, you know, my mom's done some pretty terrible things to me, you know? And I'm not embarrassed of anything. I have autism, and I haven't been able to develop or mature, you know, to the amount that I need to, so. I told her to call me so that way I could see if one of these features works, because I have Do Not Disturb on. But the thing is that my mom's been like spying on my phone where it could like go through Do Not Disturb. She could just like shut it off, you know, because she still has access to my T-Mobile account. So she's basically treating me, you know, like she's elderly and she wants to abuse me to the point of her bed. You get it? Okay, you understand it. So anyway, so I said it right then, fine. I said every time I ask you for something, it's later or no and never. Then I put, I'll remember that last phone call forever. The fact that you keep asking me when I've seen you do drugs knowing that you would hide it from all your children, and the fact that you've been repeating yourself, saying that you're going to be able to find me housing, even though you said that I need to find my own. And also implying that she can't help me, you know? Like, I have to do that stuff literally on my own, especially with Care Court. But I'm not calling Care Court after, you know, these LAPD came up to me, and that, you know, African American to non-black guy came up to me and his girlfriend. Very weird. I'm like, nope, definitely not calling up these traffickers, you know? Little government traffickers, you know what I'm saying? And then I need to work with care corporations, I don't know, whatever, on my own, and that you can't work with Care Court, even though you said that I could, even though you said that you could find me housing, which she can't. She literally just said that she can't, and you're literally having delusions where you're contradicting your own statements in real time. Don't ever call me again. Don't ever ask me for anything. And I don't need... Oh. So this... Don't ask me to go in these social services where the traffickers are waiting for me to engage in such a way. Engage in so that way I could engage so that way I could be in and out of psych wards and never be able to have and never be able to be stable in any housing. I want to look up something real quick because I knew this had to do something with this. Okay? Okay? Where is this one? Because it happened... Oh, there it is. Look at Google AI doesn't... Okay, thanks, Google AI. What? Oh, it's September. Oh, okay. Yeah, we understand. Yes, January. We never say anything about September. What the heck? Two security guards. Get it? What's been happening on the metro, on the buses, you know, with that Ukrainian girl? And who works for these security companies? Hello? It's only cartel or black gang members? Are you dumb? Now you're understanding. Thanks. Appreciate it. Making it easier. Anyway. Wow, there's a huge earthquake right now. I'm like, whoa. And they charged this guy even though he was in a halfway house just like me. I don't want to get into that one though. Let's just focus on me right now. Also get it, women. I don't want to get into this one. Also get it, what the traffickers could do to me considering I angered the TS escorts first. Trans escorts first. You get it now, right? Especially with psychiatry. Get it? Pills, changing hormones. Okay, you get it now. Also get help disguised as, or like, you know, services and resources disguised as help. Alright, so anyway. Don't even dare ask me to come visit you. Or don't even dare ask me to come to a place of worship with you or a church, because I remember when you said that I could go to church, that I don't go to church, I go to a synagogue, because I've been finding very affluent and loving people around me, and very successful people successful people at that, and it shows in history. And you're just jealous that I identify, and very much identifying that I'm supported and cherished within that group, but you wouldn't know anything about knowing God. That's crazy. That's text to speech, and it capitalized the G. I'm like, man, it's crazy. Wonder if it lowercases the G for my mom, if she does text to speech, you know? But you wouldn't know anything about knowing God, especially knowing great Jewish people. But because just like blacks to Asians, or even people of our own races, what? Wait, AI must have been saying something right there. Anyway, our own races speaking Spanish to you, you would even be offended at that you're so self-hating. You would say something stereotypical, saying that they run the world or something within those lines. Sometimes very conspirable? What the heck? Something very conspirable, or even something at that delusional, because you would know and understand that I've practiced and also studied outside of college and school, knowing I've been abused in and out of home, especially by other family members, making sure that I have no life and I have no ability to have academic history or any employment history or hobbies outside of being abused at home like it's a hobby, because I wouldn't even be able to go to MMA class because you wouldn't pay for them, and you wouldn't pay for them out of your own pocket, or out of your own pocket that you would use my own social security money, because you have abused me like a subhuman psychopath, almost alien-like. The fact that you could function and capture people's charm, if not their attention, but you would ruin my charm. You won't ruin my charm anymore. Get it? I literally said will. But you will not ruin my charm anymore. I'm going to make sure that I'm supported beyond just any religious group, or especially a place of worship. I'm going to make sure that I have very talented individuals that are not only Jewish, but from all walks of life. That's what I meant to put. And I'll be able to unite people that could be more successful than anyone in my last family. So you just have a good night, sleep well, have something nice to eat tomorrow. Make sure you have a good amount of money to set aside for places like vacations, because sleeping on the sidewalk is no place to be, but a mother abandoning her own autistic son, and the youngest at that, and placing a restraining order and feeling threatened by an autistic person is eye-raising, but nobody's raising their eyes. I understand this hidden crime and this full-on human trafficking that's occurring, and you're going to understand full well that I'm not going to allow these crimes to be committed against me, indirectly, especially by very powerful individuals. Like, well, I've kind of called out a lot of people, but there's nothing I could do. I can't take it back. You know who I've called out. Also, get it, Rockefeller, Rothschild, the Royal British family. I'm like, oh man. Anyway, and it's been royal families on top of that. And I don't need to go into any program or subvert myself to accepting any form of help disguised as a entrapment or a Ponzi scheme. Get Social Security. Or a setup for me to fail in life. Because I know what I deserve, and I know that I could be capable, and having said that, I deserve a lot more in the world than you. Especially the family like this that mistreats me, or my parents that abandoned me. So the last thing I'll tell you is that wait, I said Tao. What the heck? Tao? T-A-U? The last thing I'll say is that tell Dad I love him, and I hope it. What the heck? Tell Dad that I love him, and that I hope he quits, and you quit any kind of drug abuse or any negative impact you inflict on yourselves or others in the world. God bless. And that's it. And I was running out of time, and then I still wasn't getting any health care. You know, and it's funny, Unicare called me yesterday. I'm not even in a part of their, medical group or anything. I'm like, why are you guys calling back, Very weird. I'm like, you guys should really leave me alone, My legs have been getting in a lot of pain. My feet. Man, I've been having this abscess or this tumor, swell and de-swell on my face, and I've been out on the street not getting my Social Security because I remember what you said, Dr. MS. Dr. MS, yeah. MS, get it? Like MS-13, but he's not MS-13. He's from Iran. I also get it. Jewish, me. I'm like, yeah, Dr. MS. Yeah, now I'm out in the street because he didn't want to sign my Social Security. Because he didn't want to sign my Social Security because he wanted to say, well, I don't know who your whole story. I don't know who you are. I don't know this guy. I don't understand this guy. I'm like, yeah. I'm not going to show anything else. God bless everybody.